was the difference once again.
Seen you many times at Old Trafford when we sit in our commentary position and the director's box is just to the left-hand side, and you've watched on over the last few years when things have been quite flat in the round. Does this feel different, more than just a good moment?
Yeah, it does, and I think, you know, where Manchester United have been over the last few years is it's been tough, and obviously getting rid of a manager this season with Amarin. Michael Carrick's come in and was really to steady it and keep it in a good place, but I think he's exceeded everyone's expectations, and this was a massive win for Manchester United, getting back into Champions League. They're in a very strong position to do that, and that obviously helps with financially as well for Manchester United moving forward. But no, I think this was a huge win, beating Villa, obviously with Chelsea losing yesterday as well, so it puts them in a really good place.
So, Dion and Wayne, we definitely want both of your takes on this. Wayne, why don't you go first? And this is the obvious question, and it probably comes after every Manchester United game at the minute. Where are you on Michael Carrick at the moment in terms of whether or not he should get offered the job on a permanent basis?
100% he should, and I've said this. I knew this was going to happen with Michael Carrick. I know him very well, and I know his character, his personality, and it needed a calm head, but someone who knows the place, and the players needed some love, and he's given them that. And we're seeing the quality. We're seeing the players play with more quality. We're seeing them more together as a team, and they look like a very strong team. So for me, why would you change? You've got someone come in. I think he's got the best win percentage of any Manchester United manager after that many games. So it's for me, he has to get the job.
Dion?
Yeah, agree. I don't know, what do you do if you get rid of Michael Carrick? You try and find a manager that's, like Michael Carrick. So what's the point in, going to the market to try and find somebody and racking your brains? And I think he's gone in and done exactly what Wayne said. He's gone in, he's put the arm round the players and he said, listen, come on, lads. You play for Man United. Go out and enjoy your football. He's given them structure. He's and Wayne's told me this before. He has got a bit of an edge to him as well. So he'll tell them when he needs to tell them. But the calm nature of Michael Carrick has been perfect for this football club and these players. Look at the response.
We've been down this road before a few times, Steve. But sitting here inside Old Trafford, watching just now Michael Carrick leaving the field in front of the Stretford end, it does look like a natural fit that way. And I think what also probably aids his cause is, well, first and foremost, obviously it's the results. But I think with it being the World Cup this summer, so, a number of the candidates have got a World Cup to come through. We know that Thomas Tuchel signed his new contract with England. I don't think there's any doubt that he would have been a potential target for Manchester United. But here we are, he's building what he needs to do. He's doing the work now ahead of next season. So he's stolen a march on anyone else and he's getting the results.
The other thing that occurs to me, Wayne, is If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had never been Manchester United manager, nobody right now would be saying you shouldn't give the job to Michael Carrick, because it seems like what happened to Ole, particularly at the end of his reign, is influencing the way people feel about Michael Carrick just because they're both former players. They're two completely different human beings, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and obviously Michael was part of that group with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And you said that I think Ole actually done okay. With Manchester United, got to the Europa League final and was unlucky not to win that, lost on penalties. But yeah, I think that the club has needed rebuilding a little bit, if you like, in terms of trying to get back to the top and back to winning major trophies. Now Michael knows he's been at that club. He was at that club for a long time. He knows what that takes, and yeah, he's a good manager. I think he's showing that. He's shown everyone. He's no problem managing at this level. The players are responding to him. The fans are responding to him. So, as Dion just said there, why would you change it? Why would you go and try and find someone who is a risk, like if you say De Zerbi, or it's another one which you're going in thinking, this could be a risk, and you're taking another backward step if that doesn't work. So, for me, he has to get it.
Wayne, I really want to ask you about Max Dowman whilst we've got you as well, because he got that goal yesterday, youngest ever Premier League scorer. You're still in the top 4 for youngest Premier League scorers. I just wonder, nobody is better placed than you to answer this, really. He's 16. All of a sudden, everybody is talking about him. How difficult is that? And what do you think? I know everybody's different, but what do you think a 16-year-old needs right now in that position?
I think his situation's a little bit different to Man. Obviously, Man was 20 odd years ago. So now with social media, and he'll be getting a lot of protection nowadays. But when I was coming through, there was no safeguard. There was nothing like that. So things a little bit different. But I think Mikel Arteta was managing really well. Obviously, this year it seems crazy to say, but he's got his GCSEs to do as well. So it looks like Arteta is managing really well, and as long as he's got his family around him, I think he'll be okay.
Protection, basically, isn't it? Is that what he needs at this stage?
Yeah, because when he'll be walking into school, and he's got his friends in school, and how difficult is that going to be for him? He will get a lot of attention, but that's what he wants. As a football player, you want people to know your ability, and you'll have the right people around him to make sure he's okay, and just focus on your football, really.
Wayne, lovely to have you with us. Thank you very much. Have a good one later.
No problem. Thanks. See you.
Top man, that's Wayne Rooney. John, Dion, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve. Cheers.
John Murray and Dion Dublin inside Old Trafford. Massive win that for Manchester United. 3-1 over Aston Villa. What that means in the Premier League table then is that United are third, 54 points. They're 3 above Villa. Chelsea have 48. So do Liverpool. Liverpool obviously have a game in hand, which we're about to bring you in full against Tottenham Hotspur. But if we assume that the top 5 get in the Champions League, which is very much how it looks like it would be, that would mean Manchester United have a 6-point lead as it stands over Liverpool. So Michael Carrick has certainly had a really, really big impact there. Other full times in the Premier League for you. Palace 0, Leeds 0. Leeds played the entirety of the second half with 10 men, but Palace just couldn't break them down. Forest 0, Fulham 0. That means that Forest move out of the relegation zone. It also means that Tottenham, ahead of that game at Anfield, are only outside the relegation zone themselves on goal difference. St Mirren 0, Rangers 1 earlier in the Scottish Premiership. Rangers 3 points behind the leaders Hearts and a point behind Celtic. Dundee were 2-0 down after 94 minutes in the Dundee derby, scored twice. That one's finished 2-2. In the Women's Super League, the leaders Manchester City were held at Aston Villa, but they're still 9 points clear at the top. Liverpool beat Leicester 2-0. London City Lionesses 0. Arsenal 2 and Spurs 1, Everton 2, all full times. In the next few seconds, Chelsea are going to win the Women's League Cup. 96 minutes gone, and they lead Manchester United by 2-0. So we'll bring you full time there, and then we'll be building up to the game at Anfield, all after the news with Alison Hughes.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. The Energy Secretary Ed Miliband says the government will intervene if needed to combat rising fuel and energy prices caused by the war in the Middle East. Mr Miliband says the UK is considering options to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Around a fifth of the world's oil passes through the waterway. President Trump wants the UK and other nations to send warships to help secure the key shipping route. The leader of the Liberal Democrats, Ed Davey, spoke on the BBC's Sunday with Laura Koonsberg.
The Prime Minister of our country should decide on whether we do anything in the Straits of Hormuz in our national interest, talking to allies in the region, talking to European and Commonwealth allies, as well as the Americans. Donald Trump's been very insulting of how we have offered help. I really think we shouldn't jump at his beck and call. We should make decisions based on the national interest.
Iran has been targeting further missile and drone strikes on US allies across the Middle East. Saudi Arabia says it's destroyed 10 drones in the Riyadh and Eastern Province region. The UAE and Kuwait have also reported attacks. The captain of Iran's women's football team has reversed her decision to seek asylum in Australia. Of the 7 players granted humanitarian visas there, just 2 are left. And officers have released details of tattoos on a man found dead in a wheelie bin in Coventry as part of efforts to identify him. Police believe he'd been hit by a vehicle before being moved to Cash's Park. Officers say he had a tattoo on his right arm saying Nan, along with a clover and the colours of the Irish flag.
This Red Nose Day, we're bringing the funny.
What a way to start the show.
The Traitors, the movie, is back.
I do think you're a traitor.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not a traitor.
You are.
No.
You are.
I am not.
We visit Amanda Land with more than one Amanda.
My content's finally broken through to the mainstream.
Dermot O'Leary and Alison Hammond try new ways of raising money.
Let's all remain calm, people. We're just here for the money.
The nation's favourite Nan joins us in the studio.
Don't make me laugh!
and much more. Red Nose Day, Friday night at 7 on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
20 minutes to go. There we go. Until full commentary of Tottenham Hotspur's game at Anfield in the Premier League. We are seconds away from the full-time whistle at Ashton Gate as Chelsea get ready to celebrate. Molly Stevens.
Oh, don't they just? And they've been phenomenal this afternoon. I've got to say, this is what they deserve. 2-0, they lead Manchester United, 98 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. We had 8 added, so really that whistle should be blowing up any moment now. And Chelsea, as I say, really have deserved this. Their 7th League Cup final in a row. And that is the final whistle. To my right, the Chelsea fans waving their blue Chelsea flags with such aplomb. What a deserved victory for Chelsea this is. They've sealed their 4th League Cup trophy, and they've done so with confidence. A goal in each half, the first for Lauren James, who was outstanding today. She capitalised on a defensive mistake by United and slotted home with complete composure in the first half. The second from substitute Aggie Beaver-Jones from close range. And for Chelsea, I mean, could this be a turning point in their season, which has not gone entirely to plan so far? Head coach Sonia Bombasta bidding to defend this title today. This was her first in English football just 12 months ago. She's done that successfully. They sit 3rd in the WSL at the moment and still with 2 chances of silverware to go this season. But what a victory for them today. Not to be for Manchester United, who were in this final for the first time, looking to make history of their own. Unfortunately for them, Elizabeth Turland was as close as they got to scoring with a number of chances, both wide and saved, but it wasn't to be for Mark Skinner's side. Chelsea win by 2-0.
Full times for you in the Premier League then. Manchester United 3, Aston Villa 1, Forest 0, Fulham 0 and Palace 0, Leeds 0. So Manchester United on third on 54 points, then Villa on 51, Chelsea on 48, Liverpool also on 48, but outside of what we think will be the final Champions League place on goal difference. This is their game in hand, a chance to go above Villa into 4th in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur are outside of the relegation zone on goal difference only. Vicky Sparks has the teams.
And some big calls from Arne Slot for this one. Salah and Ekitike benched. There is a first Premier League start for 17-year-old Rio Ungamoa with Alisson back from a knock. 5 changes in all from the loss to Galatasaray. Konate, Kirkes and Mamadashvili also drop out. Robertson, Frimpong and Gakpo come in. For Tottenham, 19-year-old left-back Sousa starts in one of 4 changes from their humiliation at Atletico. Solanke, Dragoshin and Vicario also return. Kinski, no surprise there, and Kolomoani dropping to the bench. Van der Ven suspended. Romero out injured, as is Palhinha. Tottenham can only name 7 substitutes for this one, so the lineup's in full for you. We're doing a little bit of guesswork, having watched the warm-ups with Liverpool in terms of who's going to play right back. Clinton Morrison, very confident it's going to be Szoboszlai. So let's go with Alisson in goal. Szoboszlai, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson are your back 4. Ahead of them, Gravenberch and McAllister with Frimpong, Wirtz and that wonder kid, the teenager, Rio Ungamoa, supporting Gakpo through the centre for Tottenham. They have so few options here. Vicario in goal, Dragoshin, Danso and Porro, your back 3. Again, looking at the warm-ups, interesting because Sousa was warming up at right wing-back and Jed Spence was warming up at left wing-back. We would expect those to be the other way round, so we'll have to wait and see when they kick off. Gray and Matassar in the centre, and then Tell, Solanke and Richarlison up top.
Clinton Morrison is alongside Vicky for commentary. It's inevitable. Anytime Mo Salah is not in a starting 11, we're going to talk about it. But especially given the way he described his relationship with Arne Slot earlier this season and his reaction when he was subbed more recently. I mean, can he argue with it from an individual display level? I'm not saying he's been terrible, but he's not pulling up trees at the minute.
No, he's not, but he scored a few goals recently, so he can argue and say it shouldn't just be me. If you're going to make changes, you can make changes to a lot of the team. But I get this change, Crossy. I do get this change this afternoon. They got a big game in the midweek against Galatasaray. and you do have options in them wide areas. I don't get the Ekitike one. I don't get it. Gakpo's nowhere near good enough to play centre forward ahead of Ekitike, but I definitely do get the Mo Salah one. And it's not, and I wouldn't say he's been dropped. I'd say he's been rested for the midweek.
I think the point that, Steve, Clinton makes there is so important that had they got a better result in Turkey in midweek, we might have seen slightly fewer changes. It's also something, as John Murray touched on in commentary of our earlier game, that Liverpool fans have really been wanting to see Rio Ungamoa get this first Premier League start. But I think it's interesting that, as you mentioned, of course, that huge public bust-up that Mo Salah kind of initiated with Arne Slot before he went to AFCON, then it was kind of all smoothed over because there were questions, of course, at the time whether he'd still be a Liverpool player in January. He stayed, and he had started every game since returning from AFCON and since obviously that rift was patched up. So you're right, every time it happens there will be conversation, and partly I think that is driven by what Mo Salah's response is going to be to this decision from Arne Slot. But as Clinton says, I think the fact that they've got a huge game, the tie in the balance in the Champions League against Galatasaray puts a little bit of a different complexion on it. Or certainly if Mo Salah wants to have that complexion, he can certainly bring that into his own mind.
Clinton, after Max Dowman's efforts yesterday, Rio Ungamoa seems positively ancient at 17, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, to be fair. These young players nowadays, they're outstanding. They have no fear. I remember doing a game, what was it? The Wolves game in the FA Cup, and I thought he was outstanding, young Rio Ungamoa. But yeah, Max Dowman yesterday was... What a fantastic young player. They got the world at their feet, but they got no fear. And that's why some of these experienced players are probably, I'm not saying they're fearing, you don't have fear, but when you throw a youngster into the team, there's no fear, there's no pressure, go and deliver. It doesn't matter. If you have a bad game, you have a bad game. You're a youngster, not like there's more pressure on the senior players. And these youngsters are grabbing it with both hands. But I do like Rio Ungamoa. I think he's exciting. When I saw him against Wolves, it might not have worked all the time, Crossy, but every time he got his head, he just wanted to get forward and take on the fullback. And that's a good sign for me as an ex-centre forward, for your winger to want to take on the fullback and go on the outside. I thought he was brilliant.
He's got unbelievably quick feet as well, hasn't he? He's got the pace, he's got the skill, he's 17. He's just so exciting.
Yeah, he's exciting. I think he can evidently make that left side his own. I know Wirtz can play out there, but I think Wirtz is a better number 10. I think he offers more than Gakpo at the minute. That's my honest opinion. And I just think he's so exciting. And you got to realise, Crossy, he's only 17. He's still learning the game. But training with top quality players, with good coaches at Liverpool, he's only going to improve. And it's a perfect game to put him in against a team like Tottenham who are low on confidence. Say, young man, go and take on whatever fullback you're taking and the third centre-half. And, yeah, just go and have a field day. And these fans will get behind him because they've wanted to see him in the team.
Right, let's talk Tottenham and hear from their manager. Here's Igor Tudor.
Like everything in a life, you can choose how to see the situation. So you can stay and cry, or you can fight. You can be the victim, or you can say, I can change something. The bottle is always half empty or half full. So here there is nothing full. There is a lot of empty things. But difficult moments don't last. And I believe the players who will take this as a challenge, as an opportunity, who will stand up with the courage to change the things, after this period they will become better person and better players.
It's so difficult, Clinton, because a lot of people expected he might be gone by now after everything that happened with the defeat in Madrid and the Kinski substitution and everything that went with it. Does he need a result today, do you think, if he's going to be sticking around?
Yeah, I do. I think he needs if he gets a point here at Anfield, it's a great result for Tottenham with the players they've got missing and out through suspension. But I do think he needs a result. If not a result, definitely a performance. Conceding way too many goals. He likes to play his five at the back. But when you play five at the back, Crossy, you're meant to be disciplined and stronger defensively. Nowhere near. They're conceding way too many goals. And I said it earlier, they haven't had that manager bounce. He's not the name that probably a lot of people would have thought it, but it's just been nowhere near good enough. Do I feel sorry for him? A tiny bit, because at the end of the day, he's working with players that are short on confidence. But that's why he was brought into there, to give these fans the players the confidence. You're not giving the players the confidence or the fans confidence at the moment. It's a big game, Crossy. I worry. You said they're just out of it on goal difference.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Liverpool could give them a hiding this afternoon.
The thing is, Vicky, he was obviously brought in to give them a bit of a kick. It feels, and it's difficult without being inside that dressing room, but it feels when you listen to how he talks and the words he chooses that maybe he might have kicked them a bit hard.
Yeah.
Like,
I
they
think
don't look like a
that's-
team full of confidence.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think what is so hard to judge, and you touch on it there, Steve, is that we're not inside the dressing room. And I think the Kinski situation is fascinating in terms of that, because of course there's so much criticism, and we understand that, that there are players that aren't happy with, the response, that there was no public comforting for Antonin Kinski, the goalkeeper, as he was subbed off by Igor Tudor. It was other players that went to him after just 17 minutes after being at fault for two of those opening 3 goals. But Tudor afterwards saying, look, I've never done this before in my 15 years as a coach. It's probably the first and last time I'm going to sub, a player and a goalkeeper in particular at 17 minutes. It was necessary to preserve him and the team. We are with him. We're all together. We spoke afterwards. I mean, Clinton, what's your perspective on this? Is there a sense that actually behind the scenes, if he's gone to the goalkeeper, if he's gone to Kinski and put his arm around him in the dressing room and, kind of spoken to him, that it might all have been dealt with okay behind the scenes? Or is it the fact that he doesn't speak to him, it doesn't seem to go to him at all as he comes off, that makes things so much worse?
Yeah, you know what the difficult thing is? When you're in the moment, I'm not a manager, so it's difficult. You're trying to concentrate, your team are getting battered, and you've made the change because you're thinking we can't afford to get to half-time. What I will say is outfield players have been substituted before. I think we're looking at it because it's a goalkeeper and because of his age. He will come again. He's 22 years of age, so he will get that opportunity. I'm talking about his management skills, because I think you saw Jed Spence when he come off and he got up and he shook his hand and he's saying, that's what we expect, obviously. Not every manager shook my hand when I was playing, but I'd always shake my manager's hand, even if I was disappointed in coming off. He made that decision. I thought the call to play Kinski in a big game like that against Atletico Madrid, you kind of you chucked him out there, and it was a difficult one for the youngster, but he will bounce back. A lot of people said, oh, will it finish his career? No, it won't. That will only make him stronger. Igor Tudor needs to get it right. For me personally, if I'm Tottenham fan, I don't want to see I understand it today, but because playing the 3 at the back, but you need to go attacking. Go on the front foot and give these fans something to cheer about, because they've been nowhere near good enough.
We talked about injuries. They've also obviously had loads of issues with suspensions. Mickey van der Ven is suspended today. They've previously missed Christian Romero because of his tendency to pick up red cards. Dragashin, Danzo and Porro, 3 centre-halves. This is not a comment individually on any of them, but collectively, Clinton, that doesn't... if you're a Spurs fan, well, you are a Spurs fan, does it fill you with confidence?
No.
Right.
I feel like now at my age I could play against them, and that's not being disrespectful at all, Crossy.
It is a bit. I'm joking.
Yeah, but
I'm joking.
No, you're right. It probably is, but that's where Tottenham are at the moment.
Yeah.
With the injuries they've got and suspensions at the back. But that's ill discipline again from players. People can say, oh yeah, you get sent, but it's ill discipline. Romero's been ill disciplined. He's missed loads of games. Yep. Mickey van der Ven, wrong decision in defending against Ismail Sarr. So for me, it's ill discipline. But they've got a job on them. I don't think they'll come up high because they know they can get done in behind. Danso's going to probably have to lead it with Dragashin. I think Pedro Porro playing as a third centre-half is crazy. I think he's a very good right wing-back. So I've said that many times, even when they've had centre-halves available. But yeah, if I'm Gakpo, I'm kind of excited because I'm thinking, that's why I was surprised Ekitike weren't playing, because they wouldn't have been able to handle him. But what Tottenham have to do is make sure they stay in the game. They concede early, Crossy, it could get out of hand this afternoon. It's
going to be really interesting to see how Liverpool do end up lining up, because there is a potential formation there, Clinton, where you could have Ngamoa coming off the right with Dragashin as a left centre-back, which is a massive mismatch because one of those players has got a lot of pace and the other is Radu Dragashin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're spot on. Me personally, I think it's a difficult one. You probably play Danso to the left and Dragashin in the middle. That's what I would do, but I think you're right. I think Danso could play in the middle and Dragashin could play on the left, because if Ngamoa, which I probably think he will play on the left, but if he does play on the right, if you leave him one-on-one, Crossy, you're right. And then you got a young wing-back in Sosa, who hasn't had a lot of appearances, playing as a wing-back. So if you have Sosa on the left and Dragashin, you got two, one who's so inexperienced in the Premier League and one who's not really played a lot, Dragashin. Yeah, I'm excited I'm here, Crossy. That's all I'm going to say. I think our half-time talk will be proper exciting for sure. We'll be talking about goals, that's for sure.
They're always exciting, aren't they?
They are, mate.
I think, Vicky, we should have a quick word on Andy Robertson here as well. Somebody who we do know exactly where he's playing for sure. He has had to deal with a lot this season. He's had to fight his way back.
Yep.
But particularly of late, he has really underlined, if he even needed to, how important he still is to Liverpool.
Yeah, and of course he was linked with Tottenham, wasn't he?
Yeah,
in
of course
January,
he was, yeah.
Tottenham made an approach for him, and I think that's another interesting subplot. But again, it's the contrast of what Liverpool can call on at the moment, which is the huge experience of the Scotland captain, and how stretched Tottenham are with experience, with bodies. Everything seems to be going against them at the moment. How desperately they need something from this.
Crossy and Vicky, he dodged one there. He's buzzing it didn't go through.
Well, he will be now that he's back in the team, won't he?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in the summer, if they stay up, he'll probably see him there next season.
Team's on their way out then at Anfield. We've got commentary on the way in just over 4 minutes' time. So we'll be bringing you reaction once we get to half-time to the day's big stories, including Manchester United's 3-1 win over Aston Villa. We'll be able to bring you Michael Carrick. Other scores: Palace 0, Leeds 0, Forest 0, Fulham 0. In the Scottish Premiership, Rangers, big win for them by 1-0 at St Mirren, which means at the top of the table they're 3 points behind Hearts and 1 behind Celtic. I'm sure we'll have more as well on that crazy finish to the derby in Dundee. Dundee United were 2-0 up after 94 minutes, but Dundee came back to draw 2-2. Just looking at a smiling Igor Tudor shaking hands there with the Liverpool coaching staff. Looks like we're ready to go. So, full commentary in the Premier League of relegation-threatened Tottenham Hotspur at Champions League chasing Liverpool. And Clinton Morrison is with Vicky Sparks.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, welcome everyone to Liverpool, to a sunny Anfield, where the focus is very much on Tottenham's Igor Tudor. He has had just 4 games in charge, and yet the vultures are already circling. Brought in to save Spurs from their first top-flight relegation since 1977. It's all continued to go horribly wrong. They come here to Anfield, the site of so much agony for Tottenham over the years, sitting above the relegation zone on goal difference alone. And up Clinton against a Liverpool side who know that victory will move them forth in the race for the Champions League.
Yeah, you're right. It's brilliant. I love this song, by the way. Wow. Do I have to sort, Vicky? I love this.
You can let it play, Clinton.
Oh, it's such a good one. When we used to play, you get hairs on the back of your neck when you're coming out of the tunnel listening to this. And I always used to touch the badge. I wasn't supposed to, but you know the wall, I've touched it. Some legends have, so I thought, why can't I touch it? But it's brilliant. What an atmosphere to be here, Vicky. And it's going to be an outstanding game. And Liverpool have to win, don't they? And Tottenham have to get something from the game for sure.
Tottenham have to get something, even if it's just a performance against this sort of atmosphere here at Anfield. They know the opportunity here, the Liverpool fans. 5th might be enough for the Champions League next season, but to move forth in this oh-so-tight race for Europe's top competition, that's what they're here to see. Tottenham fans just want to see something that will give them a glimmer of hope. So the 2 sets of players switching halves. Liverpool moving away to our left and coming together in their huddle. Tottenham in their huddle as well, in the shades just in front of us. No referee in the middle of this one.
I was going to say,
he's staying away.
Why didn't they do the huddle on the penalty spot? Oh my word. That doesn't sit right with me, but that's for another day anyway. Let's enjoy this. Fair play to the referee for not moving. I wouldn't have moved either. I would have joined in the huddle and put my head in it.
As we welcome listeners to the BBC's World Service here to Anfield on this sunny March afternoon. So much at stake here for Liverpool, pushing for Europe, pushing for the Champions League next season. Tottenham just want to be in the Premier League next season. It's Liverpool who will get us underway. Alexis Mac Allister, some big changes from Arne Slot, 5 in all, including Salah and Ekitike on the bench, and a first Premier League start for 17-year-old Rio Ngumoa. 4 changes for Tottenham. They give a start to 19-year-old fullback Souza, as Porro will make that interception for Tottenham and clear up towards the halfway line. Won't be trapped by Mac Allister, but Ngumoa gets a foot in. It's played in field as Liverpool come forward. Midway through the Tottenham half, we'll take you through the full lineups in a moment. as the Bosley picks it up and sprays it out to the right-hand side. And here is Frimpong. And feels he goes to Florian Wirtz, who just takes his eye off the ball, goes out of play for a Tottenham throw deep in Tottenham territory.
Vicky, what I've seen already is it's not like a back three. It might be when you don't have it. It's a 4-4-2. Sosa's going to play right wing. Jed Spence going to play left back. Tell's going to play on the left wing. You got Sarah and Archie Gray, and you got Richarlison and Solanke as a 2 up front. So it is going to be at times a 4-4-2. So yeah, he's definitely threw a curveball there. He has Tudor, but we got it right. So Bosley is playing right back. We did get that right.
Yes, the caveat. Well, you basically done the Tottenham TVs.
Yeah.
I'll take you through it in full in a moment. But yeah, interesting then from Igor Tudor as the ball goes out of play for a throw to Tottenham over on the far side. So goalless in these early exchanges here at Anfield. Tottenham playing in the all bright yellow kit, kicking from right to left. Liverpool all in red as it's cleared away by Kevin Danso. Met by Joe Gomez on the halfway line. And we can take you through the Liverpool lineup. Alisson in goal. The back four of Szoboszlai, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. Ahead of them, Gravenberch and McAllister, with Frimpong, Wirtz and Ngumoa on his first Premier League start for the 17-year-old, supporting Cody Gakpo up front. And interesting as well, just saw in those early exchanges as well, they might possibly, Liverpool, and I think this was expecting Tottenham to play the three, as they pretty much largely have done under Igor Tudor, that Szoboszlai can almost push into a back three there and Frimpong come in at right wing back. So it's going to be fluid, and it might have just posed Liverpool a little question there. As Clinton says, it looks as though Tottenham's starting with this back four as they win a throw. Liverpool deep in their own territory, but of course we see this so much in the Premier League these days. Don't be fluid formations in and out of possession. It can all look very different. So we'll see how it unfolds as Gravenberch is brought down midway through his own half. But yes, so out of possession, Tottenham have Vicario in goal, Spence is at left back, then you've got Dragoshin and Danso and Porro over at right back as Liverpool come forward and work it down the right hand side with Frimpong. Pulls it back to Ryan Gravenberch, who's marshalled by Dominic Solanke. Pulls it back now to Szoboszlai, and Liverpool pick it up just outside the centre circle with Van Dijk. Now Robertson out to the left-hand side and collected well by the teenager Ngumoa. Worked out to Robertson once more. Tottenham patient in possession. Szoboszlai picks it up midway through the Tottenham half, and Liverpool will come forward once more with Van Dijk. So yeah, Sosa's out on the right-hand side. You've got Matthias Tell on the left-hand side. And you've got Sarr and Archie Gray in the centre with Richarlison and Dominic Solanke up front. So, Tottenham bursting down this left-hand side with Tell trying to get in behind Szoboszlai. Cleared away by Alisson, who's back from a minor injury for Liverpool, having missed the defeat away in Turkey to Galatasaray, as Wirtz picks it up on the halfway line and lays it off to Virgil van Dijk, who'll work it out to this left-hand side, and Andy Robertson.
Yeah, it's been a good start. Tottenham have a good shape, to be fair. I thought it looks like they've been working on a lot of stuff in training, so they're going to try and frustrate Liverpool. And they have got literally 11 men behind the ball at the moment, Vicky. So Liverpool are going to have to move this ball 1 and 2 touch to open up the space for them to get chances.
This is what they're trying to do here. Little 1-2 with Frimpong and Gravenberch, stabbed away eventually by Danso, but McAllister will sweep it out to the left-hand side, and 17-year-old Rio Ngumoa in his first Premier League start. A couple of step-overs, drives down the left-hand side, then checks down by the byline. Well marshalled by Sosa and Porro between them as Robertson drives the ball in. Bit of a miscue clearance by Jed Spence. Big shout for handball, not given by referee Chris Kavanagh, as Frimpong picks it back up, whips the ball in. It hits Dragoshin, then cleared away by Tell on the edge of the area. Solanke was then brought down. Was he? No. Chris Kavanagh says no. Coming together with Joe Gomez. Tottenham have heads in hands, but they've got to focus here because Liverpool are coming forward once more. Frimpong with the delivery, too much on it for the right-hand side and behind for a Tottenham goal kick. 5 minutes have flown by, it's 0-0.
Yeah, it is 0-0. Before Jed Spence got his hand in the air, clear the ball, mate. I see you complaining about everything. Put your foot through the ball, basically. Do your job and then worry about complaining about other people after that. I did think it was a foul on Solanke and they wanted a penalty there, but they weren't going to get a penalty from Jed Spence. It hits his thigh and goes onto his arm.
Yeah, and that elbow was tucked right next to his side, wasn't it? So no penalty to Liverpool. Still goalless in the early exchanges here at Anfield as Richarlison heads the ball forwards, only as far as Szoboszlai, who will collect and bring the ball towards halfway, and then switches the play out to the left-hand side. And Andy Robertson in the sunshine will pick it up for Liverpool. And now Cody Gakpo out to the left-hand side, and Ngumoa back to Robertson as Tottenham get back into that 4-4-2 formation. It is a formation that he's played once here, Igor Tudor, 3 at the back in his other 3 games. He's done 3-5-2 once, 3-4-3 twice. This is the starting formation. Of course, it can change in game, and then 4-4-2, but every game has ended in defeat for Igor Tudor, conceding 14 goals along the way as well as the ball goes out of play for a throw to Tottenham just inside their own half. But he has changed things up a little bit. He's gone back to a formation that he, as we say, has only used once from the start here at Tottenham, and he knows what's at stake.
Yeah, of course he does. He's keeping us guessing, that's for sure. But I'm so surprised. When your team is struggling, get your best players on the pitch. And I know he hasn't been brilliant for them, but he's one of their best players, Xavi Simons. Last few games he's been on the bench, Vicky, which I'm surprised at.
Here goes Matthias Tell down the left-hand side. He's got to the byline up against Soboslai. And Soboslai just does enough to put off Tell. Tried a little trick to get past him, but can't do so. And Liverpool have the goal kick. But yes, Xavi Simons on the bench again for Tottenham today. They can only name 7 substitutes. I mean, the roll call of players they got out at the moment. I won't start because something will definitely happen by the time I finish.
By the time you finish, it'll be half-time. What I will say, though, they've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench as well.
Yes, true. Antonin Kinski, after that 17-minute substitution against Atletico in midweek, and Brandon Austin as well, as that ball was just cleared into the head of Matthias Tell. Soboslai over quickly to make sure that he's OK, but play has momentarily been stopped. And Tell is just being checked over. And that's the other thing as well. I mean, it is something that Igor Tudor and Thomas Frank, before his sacking, touched on. You know, in many ways, everything that can have gone wrong seems to have gone wrong for Tottenham this season, and that's encapsulated by the fact that Romero, their captain, and Palhinha are both missing today because they collided in the game against Atletico Madrid and are both out due to concussion protocols.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, to be fair. And they're missing other players, the likes of Basuma and Conor Gallagher as well. So there's a lot of players, Mickey van der Ven. The list goes on and on with them, and these are players that have been fit over the last few weeks. So yeah, it has been difficult for him, but they have to find a solution to get out of trouble.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher struggling with illness, not in the squad today. And Destiny Udogie, they were hopeful might be back possibly for that huge game against Nottingham Forest. They've still got the second leg against Atletico Madrid to come, but Forest at home is next in the Premier League as Tell is off the pitch for now. He will have to stay off for the requisite 30 seconds at least, and is walking back towards the halfway line. So hopeful Tottenham will be that he can continue. Liverpool have the throw, but I think that's it, isn't it, Clinton? Yes, Igor Tudor's only been in charge for 4 games, but it's because they've got that Forest game coming up, I think, that there is so much scrutiny. If there's a bad performance today, coupled with a bad result, could this be the end of the line already for Igor Tudor, as that ball out to the left-hand side is poor, won't reach Ngumoa, and Tottenham have a throw on halfway.
Yeah, you're right, to be fair, and everything you said there, but it's poor from Andy Robertson. He tries to rush the ball to Ngumoa because he's one-on-one with Pedro Porro, and obviously Tottenham had a player off the pitch in Tell. It was a good opportunity, or poor pass from Andy Robertson.
So, Tell is back on the pitch. Tottenham don't have to worry about yet another injury. Neat bit of footwork from Richarlison just inside the Liverpool half will feed Tottenham down this left-hand side with Spence. Now Tell. Cutting in fields, finding Matassar, and back out to Tell on this left-hand side. Either side really in their rhythm so far. That's good shepherding of the ball by Soboslai. Plays it into his own penalty area. Gomez will get there. Alisson will clear up towards halfway. And Dragishin steps up from defence and heads forwards. But now he's out of position, and that's a brilliant ball to find Florian Wirtz. He's got Gakpo ahead of him. Cody Gakpo shanks it. Poor miss by Gakpo into the stands, and it remains 0-0 with 10 minutes gone.
Yeah, it's good play from Florian Wirtz, and Gakpo makes the wrong run in my opinion anyway, because he runs into young Ngumoa's space. He should be making, but once he's in that position, he gets it horribly wrong. Yeah, and it hits literally off Rose Z. It's poor quality from Cody Gakpo.
Well, if he does score this afternoon, it will be his 50th goal for Liverpool. Cody Gakpo, he's got 8 for the season so far. But he will not want to watch that one back. You can, though, if you'd like to. Match of the day, 10:30, BBC One. As Tottenham work it out to the right-hand side. Here is Pedro Porro, as now they slot into a little bit more of a back three. Jed Spence will come and make it a 4 once again. Here he is as they're forced back inside their own half. Tottenham, Dragishin chips the ball up towards the halfway line. Solanke will win the header and Richarlison has it. Trying to feed Solanke. That's a brilliant ball from Richarlison. Solanke, left-hand side of the penalty area. Very, very tight angle. Pulls it back. Can't be latched onto by Sousa, who got up there in support on the edge of the 6-yard box. And Liverpool just about clear. What a let-off. So easily. Had that connection been made to the 19-year-old Sousa, it could have been 1-0 Tottenham, and he's picked it up again. So he's going to drive from 30 yards, stings the palms of Alisson, who tips the shot over the bar. Oh, all of a sudden, Tottenham have come to life.
Yeah, it's brilliant play from Richarlison. Solanke says it's good to play the two up front, and they caused problems. They got in, and it was good defending in the end. Sousa couldn't get on the end of it, and then he gets the ball, the young man, from about 25-30 yards out. It's a good strike, really good save from Alisson. But Liverpool have been poor. Started the game like they were going to come here and just walk over Tottenham. Tottenham have been very good so far, Vicky.
And if we were looking for what sort of reaction there would be from these Tottenham players to Igor Tudor, to the predicament they're in, so far it's been a positive one. They've got a corner from this near side. The yellow shirts are packed around the far post. Swung in by Tell. It's deep. It's headed across. Oh, there was a big shout for handball, but the whistle's gone the other way. It's going to be a free kick to Liverpool inside their own 6-yard box, but they didn't really deal with that very well there, Liverpool.
No, they didn't. From where we are, the referee says there's a shove. So, yeah, I think you can see Danto shoves Alisson as he's coming for the ball. So that's why the free kick was given there. But it was still a free header from Saar. And would have been started to continue. Gravenberch cleared it off the line well.
Here come Liverpool down the other end. It's Frimpong. Well challenged by Jed Spence. Ball goes out of play for a Liverpool throw on this near side. In the shade, level with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. 12.5 minutes gone here on 5 Live. Liverpool 0, Tottenham 0. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, they've been a better team, Tottenham. Fair play, they've come here with a game plan, and they're a threat with Richarlison and Solanke. And it'll be disappointing, Solanke, because once he gets in there, he should get his shot away. But I think it was good defending in the end. Virgil van Dijk just got back at him.
So Liverpool in possession with Virgil van Dijk inside the centre circle. Here on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. Earlier in the Premier League today, Manchester United 3-1 winners at Old Trafford against Aston Villa, and it finished goalless between Nottingham Forest and Fulham. Crystal Palace and Leeds, big chance miss for Leeds. Dominic Calvert-Lewin squandering a penalty. They actually played all of the second half with 10 men, so in the end getting a point not the worst thing, but Calvert-Lewin might rue that miss from the spot. Still so tight at the bottom as Robertson into the penalty area, trying to squeeze it through, can't do so. McAllister though will latch onto the clearance, and it's out on the left hand side, and now back with McAllister once again. Plays the ball into the area. No danger there for Tottenham as they allow it to bounce all the way through to Vicario, 0-0.
Yeah, they're forcing it, Liverpool. The likes of McAllister, Gravenberch are forcing it. You've got to get Wirtz into the game. He's playing in that little pocket in the 10. He looks the most likely for Liverpool at the moment.
Spence ball in field is a little bit risky, and Saar can't hold on to it, and Szoboszlai will find Wirtz. Very well challenged just inside the penalty area by Kevin Danso as Tottenham try and spring Richarlison in behind, but Van Dijk is there and will steer it all the way back to Alisson.
Yeah, and that is where Tottenham, if you're not going to see a lot of the ball, but when you do, Archie Gray has to give Richarlison and Solanke an opportunity.
A long ball over the top. Wirtz will chase again. Dragishin is there. Fizzes it back to Vicario, who controlled that really well, actually. Again, because of Kinski's performance in midweek, I think all eyes on Vicario, who had some criticism for his performances before being rotated, I think you could say, for that Atletico Madrid game. Decision which, of course, did not pay off for Kinski, for Tottenham, or for Igor Tudor. There's Virgil van Dijk in possession for Liverpool, just outside the centre circle. 15 minutes played, it's goalless here at Anfield. Elsewhere, Chelsea are the Women's League Cup winners. They beat Manchester United by 2-0 as Frimpong burst down that right-hand side. Spence is appealing that Frimpong got the final touch. The assistant isn't sure, and eventually the goal kick is given to Tottenham, and on the edge of his own 6-yard box, Kevin Danso raises his arms in the air and applauds the assistant on this near side. To be honest, I'm not sure he really had a clue. No, he didn't. But watching it, I think it is a corner. It come off Jed Spence last. But you know what? It's a good race, to be fair, between the two of them. And Jed Spence is winning that battle at the moment.
with Frimpong.
Tottenham send the ball long. Solanke will head it on. Szoboszlai clear for Liverpool, forward by Archie Gray and brought down by Richarlison out to the left-hand side in Solanke. Again, Tottenham playing well here. It's goalless on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds, as Jed Spence picks it up just outside the Liverpool area. His drive is blocked away by Liverpool and McAllister, who will pursue Dragoshin. Dragoshin works it out to the right-hand side under pressure to Pedro Porro, who alleviates that pressure by going all the way back to Vicario on the edge of his own penalty area. Sends the ball long, Szoboszlai underneath it and heads it back to Alisson. I was going to ask you about 10 minutes ago or so, Clinton, and then I totally forgot how good you are at reading body language, because about 6.5 minutes in, we got our first shot here on our little screens in the gantry of Mo Salah sitting on the bench. I mean, I couldn't really tell very much from his facial expression, but again, if you're just joining us, Salah for the first time since coming back from the Africa Cup of Nations, not starting for Liverpool. Of course, just before he went to the tournament, he had that very public, explosive mixed zone interview where he said he felt thrown under the bus by the club and his relationship had broken down by Arda Slot. Clearly sorted out to whatever degree behind the scenes, but not starting today for the first time since returning from AFCON, as Liverpool win a free kick 25 yards out, central position. A good opportunity this. Salah so often the story, but the story of this game so far for you, Clinton?
Yeah, Liverpool haven't started. You can hear we got fans behind us and they're not happy. They're shouting in their numbers. Move the ball quicker, make angles, but you got to credit Tottenham. They've come here with a game plan and they've started ever so well. They've been on the front foot. They've caused problems at the other end. Good opportunity it is from Dominic Szoboszlai. Going back to Salah, he's never going to be happy. Salah's a winner, a born winner. No player in their life will be happy sitting on the bench, but he has to accept it and move on with it. And I bet he comes on and has an impact in the game, Vicky.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? On a Slot, I remember saying, look, he can think what he wants, but he can't go and speak to the media about it.
Yeah,
that's the difference. So, 25 yards out, just to the left of the D, Dominic Szoboszlai, who has scored some stunning free kicks already this season. Looks like he fancies this one again. It is Szoboszlai. Oh, it's another stunner! What an absolute peach from Dominic Szoboszlai. How does he do it? It flies past Vicario, who got something on it, but such was the power, such was the precision, that he couldn't stop it. And Szoboszlai strikes Liverpool into the lead against Spurs quite sumptuously.
Yeah, listen, they've been quiet and this whole crowd needed a lift from that. And he's been their best player, Vicky, by a country mile this season, Dominic Szoboszlai. It's a fantastic free kick. Vicario gets a touch on it, but the whip and the swerve and the dip of it, it's a brilliant free kick. Watching it again, he might be a bit disappointed, you know, Vicky, because it's not fully in the corner. I think Vicario, in actual fact, Vicky, I'm going to be honest with you and say it wasn't one of Dominic Szoboszlai's best one. It was really, really poor goalkeeping from Vicario. Once you get your hand on it, he should be doing better. But I did say to our producer, Gaz, just before it, he's going to score here. I just felt it. Where Liverpool have been so poor, I felt it. But he's got to do better, Vicario, Vicky.
Yeah, I think having seen the replay, Clinton Morrison, you are absolutely spot on. It's a really good up and over the wall and then getting the dip from Szoboszlai. It's got good pace on it. But Vicario, once he gets there, and as Clinton says, it's not right in the corner. It kind of bisects the middle of the goal and that far post as Tottenham can't keep the ball in and it goes out for a Liverpool goal kick. But Vicario is almost half a fraction of a second slow to react, but still does get there. And then once he's got there, it's a weak effort, really, to make the save.
You're spot on, Vicky, the way you've said. This is a bad goalkeeper. He's been like that the whole season as well. I'm not saying he's a... Well, yeah, I am saying he's had a bad season. Once you get there and get your hand there, you have to have a strong enough hand. It's not even in the corner. It's near enough in the centre of the goal. Brilliant from Szoboszlai, even though it's not one of his best ones we've seen him. But if you hit the target, you've got a chance with Vicario. Poor goalkeeping.
I think that's it, because the ones he scored, you know, this season already, Szoboszlai against the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City have been so good.
Yeah.
But yes, Vicario watching that back, Tottenham watching that back, will feel that was very much stoppable. And Liverpool in the ascendancy now as the shot is driven in from the edge of the penalty area. It was a decent try by Ryan Gravenberch, let fly just outside the box, and it whistles over the bar.
Yeah, it'll be hard for Tottenham's two in young Archie Gray and Sarr in midfield, because Liverpool got 3 in there. It just opened up for Gravenberch, and he's unlucky. He tries to bend it into that far corner. He doesn't get enough bend on it, and it just goes wide of the post. But yeah, you can hear the fans. It was a bit quiet in here, but you give them something to cheer about. These fans will get behind you.
They lead by a goal to nil at a ground where they have enjoyed so much success against Tottenham over the years. Just one defeat for Liverpool in their last 31 Premier League home games against Tottenham. And in terms of more recent form, this has been a horror stadium for Spurs. They conceded 17 goals across their last 4 trips to Anfield in all competitions, make that 18 in 5 now. A long way to go though. It's 21 minutes gone. Liverpool lead by a goal to nil due to Szoboszlai's free kick, but Tottenham overall have been the better side until that point.
They have. They'll be disappointed, and it's probably another mistake, even though you got to credit the free kick how good it was. It's a mistake that gets them 1-0 down from a good strike from Dominic Szoboszlai, but poor goalkeeping from Vicario, really poor.
Ball goes out of play for a Tottenham throw midway through their own half, as Igor Tudor watches on the edge of that dotted technical area as Matthias Tell advances in front of him, but Liverpool get the foot in, and Frimpong now will play it to Cody Gakpo. He was trying to hold the ball up, was just pulled down there and couldn't release it in time. So it's a free kick to Liverpool midway inside the Tottenham half on this right-hand side. Results elsewhere in the WSL today. Tottenham's women losing 2-1 at home to Everton. League leaders Manchester City dropping points 0-0 at Aston Villa, and Liverpool winning 2-0 at Leicester, and Arsenal winning 2-0 at London City Lionesses. And they do still have 2 games in hand, Arsenal, so could still...
City will win it, mate.
Well, they are very, very much in pole position.
Hasegawa missing's a huge blow, though. But anyway, that's for another day.
So another free kick for Liverpool. Szoboszlai won't go for goal from this one. It's wide. It is swung in, headed away by Dominic Solanke. Helped on over on that far side. Porro, though, can't complete the clearance, and it's kept alive by Liverpool. Worked out to Wirtz on this right-hand side. McAllister inside the penalty area. Lays it off to Wirtz once more. He's forced out of the box. Back to Szoboszlai. He will swing the ball in right-footed once again. Loops all the way across the area. And Ngamoa won't be able to keep that in. Or did he? No, he didn't. Over on the far side for a moment. From our position high in the stand here at Anfield, I thought he might just have done enough there, the 17-year-old. But no, it's a Tottenham throw on the far side, and Liverpool lead by a goal to nil. Clinton Morrison. And
it's a good experience for young Rio Ngamoa. You know why? Because when I saw him in the FA Cup, Wolves came out and they had a lot of opportunities one-on-one. There's no spacing behind here against Tottenham because they're so deep. So now he has to think about, can he drop into little pockets? Can he cause defenders problems? And he's always learning on the job, which is good.
Chester down inside the Tottenham area by Pat Natasar and cleared away for a Liverpool throw over on that far side. Yes, full Premier League debut today for Rio Ngamoa, and many Liverpool fans will have welcomed that news with a big smile. He has really shone in the substitute appearances he's made. Of course, got that dramatic winner in the 100th minute against Newcastle back in August to become Liverpool's youngest ever goal scorer. He's their youngest starter as well. Records are tumbling. And he's trying to get on this ball down the left-hand side, but too much on it, bounces behind for a Tottenham goal kick. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0.
Yeah, Joe Gomez just overhits it, because that's what happens. When it's so tight and congested, that is where the space is out wide. So Ngamoa and Frimpong, you kind of understand why he's played these 2 wingers, trying to break it down, because it's different with Mo. Mo wants to come into little pockets. That's how he scores all his goals, Mo Salah. So you can understand the changes this afternoon.
Yeah, Mo Salah on the bench today. Ekitike as well, Kanate. Another one amongst the substitutes. Szoboszlai is just trying to take this throw, and then Igor Tudor is right there behind him, the Tottenham manager, just spoken to by the 4th official, just to say don't get too close to Dominic Szoboszlai there, but a little pat. It's all good. And Liverpool in possession midway through their own half, leading by a goal to nil here on 5 Live. BBC Sounds and the World Service as Cody Gakpo sees that ball cut off by Matthias Tell. It will be a throw to Liverpool, and again Tudor right on the edge of his technical area. What does he need today, Clinton, to still be Tottenham manager tomorrow?
He needs a performance. That's what he needs. He needs a big performance, and you know what, he's getting a good performance at the moment from his team, but As I said, his goalkeeper lets him down with not the best bit of goalkeeping. I don't know, I might be harsh, but from where, after seeing the replay, I think he should do a lot better.
It's a good free kick from Szoboszlai, but I think Vicario got a big hand to it. We feel he could have kept it out. Here is Frimpong down the right-hand side into the penalty area, pulls it back to Liverpool's goal scorer, Szoboszlai. Joe Gomez now plays the ball into the area. It's headed away by Pedro Porro. Van Dijk will pick it up and spray it out to the left-hand side. And now Ngumoa picked up once more by Liverpool and Alexis McAllister. And now Cody Gakpo is going to drive from 25 yards. Danso blocks it and then drops to his knees as the ball spins out of play. I think he might have hurt himself there, Danso. Ball's gone out of play for a Liverpool throw on this near side. Midway through the Tottenham half, he is now gingerly up to his feet, Kevin Danso. And again, with only 7 subs on the bench, Tottenham, 2 of them are goalkeepers. They cannot afford for another player to be missing for whatever reason, injury, illness, suspension, as they have their absentee list very lengthy at the moment. They're in possession, Liverpool. Szoboszlai will play it to Van Dijk on the edge of the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side he goes and finds Ngumoa, but it just squirms through the 17-year-old's feet and out of play for a Tottenham throw.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because if Danso picked up an injury, I don't think there's many centre-halves, if not one on the bench, that could come on and maybe change the game. So they need to stay out there. It's all hands to the pump at the moment at Tottenham, but they're doing all right at the moment. As I said, Liverpool haven't really created numerous chances where their goal has been under siege, so they're doing okay at the minute.
They lead by 1-0, Liverpool, but I think Tottenham as well have responded pretty well to falling behind to Szoboszlai's free kick as Solanke goes down, wins a free kick just inside his own half. And I think this is it, isn't it? With Tottenham in the predicament that they're in, only out of the relegation zone on goal difference, so on the same points as Nottingham Forest and West Ham. They're 3 points behind Leeds. People are looking for mentality. They're looking for how these players respond to the setbacks that they had in midweek against Atletico Madrid. The questions, even after just 4 games, over Igor Tudor's future. And as Liverpool work it nicely to Szoboszlai. Over the halfway line he goes. Infield now to Cody Gakpo, central position. McAllister will lay it off to the left-hand side. And Rio Ngumoa taking on Souza. 17-year-old against 19-year-old. Ngumoa's delivery in, headed away by Pat Matassar. Szoboszlai 25 yards out, urged to shoot. Plays it instead to the right and Wirtz. Nice layoff. McAllister, though, dispossessed. And Richarlison will play it out to the left-hand side. And Matthias Tell is going to take on Szoboszlai. Still inside his own half, Tell. He's done well, though. Szoboszlai stayed with him. And now Wirtz is coming to try and help out and then just takes it off Matthias Tell. He was trying to trick his way through the middle of Wirtz and Szoboszlai. And Liverpool have it with Szoboszlai now. And he squares it to Van Dijk, and it's still Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. 28 minutes gone, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, he just ran out of legs there, Tell. It was difficult. He'd run like 30, 40 yards, and no one came over and supported him. And that's what it's going to be like for Tottenham. When you're defending for the majority of the game, you have to have spells where you're in possession. If not, when you're on the ball, you're going to struggle massively.
It is Virgil van Dijk on the ball for Liverpool, as McAllister chips it back to Alisson. And they will build once more from the back with Gomez. Back to Alisson once more. Works it out to the left-hand side, and Van Dijk, and now picked up by Andy Robertson. Gakpo under pressure from Jed Spence. And the free kick goes the way of Tottenham this time, just inside the Liverpool half.
Yeah, Jed Spence gets tight to Gakpo and then shows really good strength, and Gakpo has to pull him down. So good defending from Jed Spence there.
So Tottenham standing over this set piece. And interesting this, it's just inside the Liverpool half, but they are sending the height up from the back. Danso's gone forward, so is Dragoshin. Richarlison, we know, and Solanke, so good in the air as well. Well, they've certainly got the option to send this in, but it's not, you know, halfway inside the Liverpool half. You know, it just shows, doesn't it, that Tottenham feel this is an opportunity, but then they play it short. So now their centre-halves are waiting for this ball to come in.
Yeah, I don't
Jed Spence chips it out to the left-hand side, won't be kept in by Archie Gray, and some might say, what a waste.
It's the worst free kick I've probably seen in the game. I don't understand what you're doing. I understand when you play it short to come back to whip it in, but then your defenders go up and then you try to play a ball out to the winger. Unbelievable. That's basic coaching. I can say to that, to a team that I coach at under 18s to go and do that. The players would laugh at me. It's not really near good enough.
Clinton Morrison with us on 5 Live BBC Sounds and the World Service. As Pedro Porro picks up the ball in the centre circle for Spurs, plays it forward looking for the run of Richarlison, but Alisson was there and a brilliant bowl out. Oh, what a ball that is from Alisson. Porro did really well to read it because Robertson was bursting forward, but it's cleared by Porro back to Vicario. Vicario's clearance, though, not quite getting the distance, and Gakpo has it now. Edge of the penalty area, chips the ball in. Wirtz was waiting. Important header by Pat Matasar behind for a Liverpool corner. Liverpool lead 1-0.
Yeah, they do. And you know what? It's not been vintage Liverpool, and this is what I'm saying. It might have been the perfect time for Tottenham to play them at the moment, but they're just starting to get into their groove, and you have to stay in the game, Tottenham, because all it takes is an opportunity like a set piece where you can cause Liverpool problems.
Well, they've wasted one moments ago at the other end, Tottenham. What can Liverpool do with this one? It's Szoboszlai, he's already scored from one, a free kick, 25 yards. Really good up and over the wall, and then the dip had power on it, but Vicario got a big hand to it. And it wasn't in the corner. I might have felt that he should have saved it. But it's 1-0 Liverpool. So they look to double that advantage. Szoboszlai to whip it in. It's cleared away by Solanke, forward again by Gravenberch. Van Dijk's still up there. Sousa will get ahead on it. Tell then heads it back towards his own penalty area. And Gamoa's underneath it. Not the tallest, the 17-year-old, but does guide it with his head out to Szoboszlai. Tottenham in the yellow shirts, dropping very deep as Liverpool come again with Gravenberch. Centrally he goes, Liverpool leading by 1-0. Szoboszlai, that goal scorer, plays it forward looking for Wirtz. Back to Szoboszlai once more. And works it out to the left-hand side as Gamoa will advance towards the penalty area. Making his full Premier League debut. Goes for the 1-2 with Wirtz and almost got on the end of it. It was a lovely scooped ball back to him by Florian Wirtz, but just too much on it, and it's behind for a Tottenham goal kick.
Yeah, it was good play. He tried to get on the outside of Jed Spence, and Spence defended. Well, he's actually done well, Jed Spence. People have been critical of him over the last month or so, but I think in the one-on-one situations, he's defended ever so well.
So Tottenham goal kick, they take it short. Vicario works it out to the right-hand side, and Pedro Porro over the halfway line. Richarlison won't reach it, Gravenberch will, but can only steer it out to 19-year-old Sousa, who lets the ball roll out of play. Arrived in January at Tottenham from Brazilian side Santos. He's a Brazil youth international. This is second Premier League starts since arriving. Started the last game in the league against Crystal Palace, but was one of those, along with Kolo Muani, who came off just before half-time after Van der Ven was sent off, and they rejigged things, Tottenham. As Dragusin has it just outside his own penalty area, turning away from Gakpo, and just about manages that, Radu Dragusin, up to the halfway line, and Tell has done well initially to hold on to it, then Gravenberch hooks a leg round it, and Szoboszlai breaking forward. Wirtz now into the penalty area. Szoboszlai's continued his run, but look at the space here for Gamoa. Drives, it's blocked away by Pedro Porro, spins to Richarlison, who will run the danger clear for Tottenham.
Yeah, it's good play again from Szoboszlai and Wirtz. They've been the best players so far. And he's unlucky really in Gamoa. He kind of doesn't sort his feet out and get out on his feet, and it's a weak shot on his left foot. But it's good play from Richarlison. But this is why I'm saying, Vicky, Tottenham are defending so deep, can't get up. Like me personally, I'd keep Richarlison and Solanke high, just to occupy Van Dijk and Gomez. That will enable one of the fullbacks to sit back. No team's going to leave 2v2. So they're just defending their numbers. They can't get out at the moment.
So Vicario in possession for Tottenham inside his own penalty area. It's Liverpool with 11 minutes to go until half-time. They still lead by goal to nil. Vicario is waving at Pat Matasar to say, look, I don't want to play it short. Go forward. In the end, he goes out to Dragusin. Dragusin tries to play it to Jed Spence. Goes straight out of play, and Tottenham has switched off a bit here. Dragusin then, out of frustration, fouls Gravenberch, and it's a free kick to Liverpool, 30 yards out, just about level with the right-hand side of that penalty area. And I think that's the first time in the game, I would say, Clinton, 34 minutes in, that we've seen Tottenham just completely lose focus and concentration and get frustrated there.
And it's down to Vicario. You're trying to play players out of positions in different places. You've got to do better than that. No way. It's a poor pass. Really, really poor pass for him. He has to go from back to front really quicker.
So, Liverpool with the free kick to be taken from this wide right position. Szoboszlai to swing it in. It's a good delivery. It's headed away by Dragusin on the edge of the 6-yard box. And will be collected by Jed Spence over on that far side. Under pressure from Robertson. Tottenham have a player down. It's Porro. They want a free kick. Richarlison getting some boos as he's challenged. Now McAllister lays it off to Gakpo. Hits the post and ricochets away to Spence, who will clear. Porro trying to complete the clearance. Liverpool have a player down. Ball's gone out of play over on the far side. So unlucky for Cody Gakpo, rattling the woodwork.
Yeah, he's unlucky. They don't deal with it, Tottenham. They want a free kick, but once it comes to Gakpo, he's only got one thought in his mind to get his shot off, and Vicario's beaten, but the post saves Tottenham. Comes to Tottenham's aid there, but yeah, Richarlison wanted a free kick. He's got to move the ball quicker. Good play from McAllister, and he's unlucky, Gakpo.
It's a super effort from Gakpo. Vicario, I tell you what, might have got a fingertip on that. Hits the post. I think it might have been hitting the post anyway, but Vicario across quickly. And the ball goes out of play again for another Tottenham throw over on the far side. Liverpool leading by 1-0. 9 minutes to go until the break. And it just feels, Clinton, like it might be one of those games where fine margins and key moments could end up being decisive. Think of Tottenham's wasting of a set piece at one end. Gakpo hitting the post for Liverpool with a chance to make it 2-0 at the other. As the ball is swung forward and chested back inside his own penalty area by Andy Robertson to Alisson. Of course, there are always moments for every team in every game, but it just feels, because there's so much riding on this for Tottenham, and because actually they're playing pretty well, those are the sort of moments that perhaps they can seize on. They can say, you know what, maybe today something is going our way. We played well in this game, generally so far. We're only a goal down. Liverpool haven't doubled their advantage. Let's use that. As Solanke steals it away from Gakpo, who dives in. Solanke evades that challenge, then runs out of room. Ball goes out of play for a Liverpool throw on halfway.
Yeah, and that is why sometimes he struggles up front, Gakpo, because he tries to hold on to the ball too much. As a number 9, you just got to get it, give it, get into the box.
Here goes Frimpong, right-hand side for Liverpool, into the penalty area, down to the byline, and Jed Spence got a foot in. Liverpool wants a corner, they're not going to get it. I think he might just have done enough there, Spence, to put off Frimpong without actually getting a touch. Either way, it is the assistants and the referee's decision that matters, and they say no corner Liverpool, goal kick Tottenham. And Liverpool still lead by 1-0 with 7 minutes to go until half-time here on 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds, as Richarlison is down on halfway and wins a free kick for Spurs. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, he's just late, Van Dijk. Good ball up to Richarlison. Well, it's not a good ball because it's up to his head, but he makes it into a good ball, and Van Dijk is just a bit late, and you can see what the Liverpool fans think of Richarlison being an ex-Everton player.
Ex-Everton, and a player who's traditionally done well against Liverpool. He's been directly involved in more goals against Liverpool than any other Premier League opponent.
He's one of those players, though, that I think every fan would probably boo him. He winds everyone up, doesn't he? You need people like that in your team.
And when he's on form, he absolutely sparkles. As Tottenham make that interception, stopping the Liverpool break down the right-hand side. Here is Tell. Plays it off Szoboszlai. Might have got a brush off Tell's leg on the way. Yes, it did. And it will be a throw to Liverpool right in front of Arne Slot, who watches on as Gravenberch will steer it back to Joe Gomez. He said ahead of this one that they do have a point to prove, Liverpool, after losing their last game in the Champions League and their last game in the Premier League as well. So far, are Liverpool proving that point, or to what extent are Liverpool proving that point, Clinton?
They're proving a point because they're winning the football matches. I'm not saying it's vintage Liverpool. They're not like they're dominating a team that have been struggling and probably the worst team in the Premier League at the moment. In terms of form, not league position, Tottenham, by the way.
Yeah, they are the only side without a Premier League win in 2026, Tottenham, as Frimpong comes forwards, and they're trailing here, Liverpool leading by 1-0. As McAllister picks it up, central position, midway through the Tottenham half. Robertson now, finding Ngumoa on the left-hand side, taking on Pedro Porro. A couple of step-overs, about 5 in all, I think, and Ngumoa then poor ball into the area, cleared away by Pat Matasar. What have you made of Ngumoa on this first Premier League start for him?
Yeah, he's been all right. He's been bright. He's been bright and lively. Yeah, obviously, his decision-making, that's going to happen from a youngster where you make the wrong decision, but I like him, excitable player.
Long ball over the top looking for Robertson. Dragoshin clears it away. Sousa then cleared it into Gravenberch, but Liverpool can't make the most of it. And here comes Tottenham with Tell, and Spence is getting forward on the left-hand side. Tell's gone more central, though Solanke belatedly head down, trying to drive forward. And belatedly, Tell looks to find Spence. Cleared away by Allison as Richarlison was sliding in, trying to put him off. And he did put him off. It's straight out of play from his fellow Brazilian and goes out of play for a Tottenham throw, which is taken quickly by Pat Matassar. And now Dragoshin back to Matassar in field to Archie Gray. I don't think I've mentioned him for about 15 minutes, Archie Gray. This is how much Tottenham are struggling to get on the ball in central positions as they have it just inside their own half, trailing by a goal to nil.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's always going to be difficult for the two of them in midfield to get on the ball. And Tottenham are not a team that really want to are good enough to play out from the back. This is what I'm saying with Vicario when he's staying on the ball like that. You've got Solanke and Richarlison. Get the ball forward like he's just done, but with better quality than that. Don't just kick it.
Don't get the ball forward like that.
And kick it straight back to Allison. And it's not the first time he's done that this season. So frustrating.
A nice touch and field by Gravenberch. It was then taken out. Advantage played by Chris Kavanagh because Wirtz has picked it up for Liverpool. And Van Dijk will work it out to the left-hand side. And Andy Robertson finds Ungamoa once again, trying to ease away from Pedro Porro. And does so very well. Sousa then comes across and he skips past him too. This is a lovely run by Ungamoa. Porro then got back, got a foot in. Richarlison the latest to close him down. And in the end, the 17-year-old falls back to Virgil van Dijk. But Anfield liked what they saw there from the teenager. And he's on the ball again. Ungamoa just outside the penalty area. Lays it off to McAllister. 30 yards out, now Szoboszlai works it out to the right-hand side. Liverpool inching their way towards the Tottenham penalty area with 3 minutes plus added time to play in this first half. They lead by a goal to nil. They've hit the post as well through Cody Gakpo. As Ungamoa goes down the left-hand side. Was he brought down there? Yes, he was by Sousa, the 19-year-old. And it's a free kick to Liverpool. And applause as well from Andy Robertson in appreciation of the youngsters' efforts, and a big low five as well. As Liverpool have this set piece, it's just a few yards up from the byline on that left-hand side, just outside the penalty area.
Now ask me how he's been very, very good. Last 2 or 3 minutes, outstanding. And you can see he's going to be a star here at Anfield. The fans have took to him ever so well. He's 17. He's a bright future. You like it when you got a youngster that's coming through that got the potential like he has. He's got huge potential.
Yeah, he's been so good this season off the bench. I think at times he's looked a little bit under the weight of this first Premier League start. Yeah. He'll know that so many Liverpool fans have been calling for it. But he's won a free kick here. And what can Dominic Szoboszlai? He's already scored from a set piece. This is a much tighter angle. He's going to whip it in. It's cleared away out of the penalty area. Tottenham's yellow shirt's very deep though, so Gravenberch can chest it down 25 yards out, then plays it straight into Solanke, but it won't break kindly for Tottenham to break. Van Dijk's still up there. Archie Gray knees it down. Van Dijk whips it across the 6-yard box just in front of McAllister. Comes out to the left-hand side and Ungamoa has it once more. Liverpool pushing for a second on the stroke of half-time. It's Wirtz. Completely miscues the shot, almost turned into half a decent ball for Andy Robertson, and is in the end shepherded out by Spence, and Robertson is deemed to have fouled Spence before that ball went out of play. So it's a free kick to Tottenham inside their own penalty area, and Liverpool again miss a chance to double their lead.
They do. Van Dijk does ever so well, but you know what? Your centre forward, Gakpo's on the 6-yard, but gamble. It's the only place where Van Dijk can put it is across there. You've got to tap in. Now, that's not a natural centre forward who wants to go and get himself a goal. And I don't know if Liverpool really have that natural number 9. Ekitike is a fantastic player, but I think Isak might be the one. When he comes back, it'll be in and around that 6-yard box.
Yes, Ekitike, one of 5 changes that Slot's made. He's on the bench, as is Mo Salah. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil as Richarlison chests it down just outside the penalty area. A bit of a swipe from Szoboszlai will get there. Sousa will keep it in for Tottenham. Here's Tell, plays the ball in, and the header from Richarlison was just wide. Edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, that was a whisker away from Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1.
What a chance. You won't get many chances like that here at Anfield. Sousa, the young man, does ever so well to keep it alive, and he plays it to Tell, and Tell delivers a good ball. Richarlison's very good in the air. He gets between Gomez, and the thing is what makes it, Robertson's coming in and he's just leaning back, and it's a difficult header. In the end, when I watch it, he's really unlucky, Richarlison, but it's a good opportunity.
Well, he is so proficient in the air, Richarlison, but as Clinton says there, he's just leaning back as the ball comes, and he's still got it so close. A whisker wide of that far post. And that just underlines that Tottenham are very much still in this game. Fair to say, I think that Liverpool have been the better side since the Szoboszlai goal. They've hit the post through Gakpo. They've had the better openings, although there haven't been chance after chance after chance for Liverpool. But Tottenham's still in it, and Tottenham still looking dangerous on occasion, as they were there as we entered 2 minutes of added time. Richarlison's lost it. Wirtz has lost it in turn for Liverpool, and here goes Richarlison, and that is not the ball that Solanke wanted. And again, with these chances so few and far between, that was a real opportunity for Tottenham. They had the yellow shirts streaming forward, and the ball from Richarlison was far too much on it for Solanke, and it's through with Alisson as Chris Kavanagh is just making sure that Wirtz is okay.
Such a bad ball. It's not even the right ball to play to Solanke. Tell's in on goal here. Everyone else can see it. I don't understand how Richarlison can't see it. And he overhits it. There's no pressure on him. And that is where Tottenham, why they are where they are at the moment, because they lack quality in the final third.
Clinton Morrison with us here on 5 Live BBC Sounds and the World Service as Joe Gomez picks up possession for Liverpool, who lead by 1-0. Liverpool, who know that a victory will take them 4th in the table above Aston Villa on goal difference after Villa lost 3-1 at Manchester United earlier today. It was goalless between Crystal Palace and Leeds, who were down to 10 men for the second half and missed a penalty as well before that. Goalless as well between Forest and Fulham. All of that means that Tottenham sit outside the relegation zone on goal difference alone. You can watch all the highlights on Match of the Day tonight, 10:30 BBC One, as Richarlison lays it off to Pat Matar. Danso will just about get there ahead of Ngamoa, who peels away and gets back into position and formation for Liverpool, who lead by 1-0 as Dragishin sends it back to Vicario. Would you expect there to be a little bit more urgency from Tottenham, or is this what Vicario is doing? He's trying to get Liverpool sucked in so they can bypass those red shirts in midfield. But again, they have to go long in the end, Tottenham, and the red shirts are still in position.
Yeah, you're right. And Liverpool haven't been great. This is a great opportunity to play Liverpool, in my opinion.
They're getting the response performance-wise that Tudor needed, as Tell does really well down the left-hand side. Frimpong gets the foot in. That's going to be a corner. We played the 2 minutes minimum added time, but I think there's going to be time to take it. And the Tottenham fans, away to our left in the lower tier, behind the goal that Tottenham are attacking, roar their approval of that. Because is this what you expected from Tottenham this afternoon, Clinton? With everything that's happened in the week, with everything that's happened this season, with everything that's happened with Tudor.
Yeah, they're definitely having a go. They've been impressive so far in this first half.
And they've got a corner on this near side as they look for the equaliser. It's swung and it's Richarlison, beaten away by Alisson. Again, denies Richarlison from 6 yards, and that is the half-time whistle. Liverpool were away on the counter, but as we said, we pretty much played the 2 minimum added minutes. Corner was taken, and again, it's Alisson who manages to keep Liverpool's lead at 1-0 going into the break. Great save.
Yeah, good save from Alisson, and it's been a good half from Tottenham, apart from the mistake from Vicario. And you can see Igor Tudor's kicking every game, but he should be proud of his team. They haven't folded. I thought the scoreline would get out of hand. So far, they've been all right in this first half. And Charlison's had 2 golden opportunities for them, which probably they'll be disappointed not to go in on level at half-time.
Gakpo's hit the post as well for Liverpool. It's Szoboszlai's free kick on 18 minutes. That is the difference. It was a lovely dipping effort. 25 yards, got it up and over the wall. Decent power in it as well, but Vicario did get there. It wasn't right in the corner. He might have felt, the Tottenham goalkeeper, that he should have done better. But questions about Tottenham, questions about Igor Tudor. So far, they're responding well to what has been a horrendous season, a horrendous start to his reign. Is he the man that can do it with Tottenham and keep them up this season? They trail by 1-0, but this is certainly more like it in terms of performance. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0 at half-time.
He has to save that, Clinton, doesn't he?
Oh, of course he does, Crossy. Me and you save it, and we're not even goalkeepers.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I don't. Yeah, well, maybe I save it. You don't. You don't move your feet quick enough. But he's got to move his feet. He knows it's always good. You take a gamble, I understand, but you know it's going to go over that side, and he's got the quality. It's not even in the corner. I thought from the distance it was in the corner because we're high up. But when you see the replay, he has to save it. I always say as a goalie, once you get your hand to it, Crossy, you have to save it. So he'll be disappointed, and so will Tottenham.
Guess who the cameras inside Anfield immediately pointed at after the free kick? give you a clue. He's on the Tottenham bench.
Oh, Kinski.
Yep.
Kinski. Without
straight away.
Because he's
straight
thinking,
away.
He's just made a mistake like that. Am I going to get hooked off now? No, hooked off. I don't think so. No, listen, it's poor goalkeeping. And yeah, you're always going to go to the other goalkeeper, aren't you, straight away? He's made a mistake in midweek. And our manager substituted you as well. So, yeah, it's one of those. But it's a mistake from Vicaria. Because if not, I think they would have been happy going in that 0-0. In actual fact, ecstatic going in that 0-0. And they've had chances, Crossy, as well.
Clinton, Vicky, thank you for the time being. So Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0, half-time at Anfield. Second half commentary to come before 6:06. 08085 909 693, the number to call. Earlier in the Premier League, Palace 0, Leeds 0, Manchester United 3, Aston Villa 1, and Forest 0, Fulham 0. In the Scottish Premiership, 2-2 in the Dundee derby, but Dundee United were 2-0 up at Dens Park after 94 minutes. Incredible late comeback, and St Mirren 0, Rangers 1. In the Women's Super League, Villa 0, Manchester City 0, Liverpool 2, Leicester 0, London City Lionesses 0, Arsenal 2, and Spurs 1, Everton 2. Chelsea have won the Women's League Cup, beating Manchester United 2-0 in the final. We've got reaction on the way from Lauren James, who scored in that game, Rangers boss Danny Röhl, Leeds manager Daniel Farker, Vitor Pereira, the Forest manager, and Michael Carrick, all after the news with Alison Hughes.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. Iran has continued strikes on US allies across the Middle East, with the country's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, saying Tehran had never asked for a ceasefire or even for talks. Yesterday, President Trump claimed Iran looked ready to make a deal to end the conflict, but said the terms were not yet good enough. However, Mr Araghchi told Face the Nation on CBS News that Iran saw no reason to talk to the Americans who started the conflict.
This is a war of choice by President Trump and the United States, and we are going to continue our self-defense. We never asked for a ceasefire, and we have never asked even for negotiation. We are ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes.
Iran's foreign minister also said Tehran was open to countries who wanted to talk about the safe passage of vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. The key shipping route has been effectively blocked by Iran since the war began, resulting in rising energy prices. Here, the Energy Secretary Ed Miliband suggested Britain might deploy mine-hunting drones to help reopen the waterway. The International Energy Agency says oil will soon start flowing to global markets. The IEA says it will be releasing 400 million barrels of oil from its emergency reserves. And French prosecutors say 2 brothers have been arrested over what's been described as a deadly anti-Semitic terror plot. They were detained in northern France after a drone was seen flying over a prison.
We're obviously going to be focusing on the latest developments in Iran.
What we want is long-term solutions and not just constant wars.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Revolutionary Guard launched a new wave of attacks. Saudi Arabia has intercepted more than 24 drones.
New Supreme Leader Mujtaba Khamenei has said Iran will keep blocking the Strait of Hormuz shipping channel.
What is Donald Trump's plan? What's the level of support that he's enjoying? What is the level of the special relationship right now?
The impact of this spike will hit the July to October price cap.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Second half commentary on the way of Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. Reaction to all of the day's football to come before kick-off. It's finals day at Indian Wells. Women's and men's matches both on Sports Extra 2. Later, correspondent Russell Fuller is there for us. So Sabalenka, Rybakina again, Russell.
Yes, they will resume their rivalry, Steve, on another day of temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius, although the players will be relieved that they're avoiding the temperatures of 40 degrees plus expected in this part of the world at the beginning of next week. Rybakina has the better record against Sabalenka in finals. She's won 4 of their 5 finals. She won the Indian Wells title against Sabalenka 3 years ago. At the end of last year, she won the big championship match at the WTA finals in straight sets, and then the one we particularly remember, the Australian Open final, as Rybakina recovered from 3-love down in the deciding set to deny Sabalenka a Grand Slam title again. I say deny, she's won a fair few, but also she's lost a fair few. In the big finals over the last 3 years, Sabalenka has won only half of the finals she's been in, and that is not a good enough strike rate for someone who's been in the top 5 exclusively throughout that period.
So we know that final quite well, but not Sinner Alcaraz again, thanks to an incredible effort from Daniil Medvedev.
Daniil Medvedev has stopped the Carlos Alcaraz winning streak in its tracks at 16 wins from the start of the season, and he did so by playing brilliantly, aggressively. It takes some nerve to do that because there's a high degree of risk, but he beat Alcaraz in straight sets, and now he's trying to become the first player to beat Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner in the same tournament since Novak Djokovic at the ATP Finals of 2023. Sinner, though, in fabulous form, yet to drop a set, and he's really owned the rivalry with Medvedev in recent years.
Russell, thank you very much. That's correspondent Russell Fuller. And if you go on the BBC Sounds app and go on the dial, flip it over to Sports Extra 2, you will see the Indian Wells tennis beginning there at 6 p.m. with that women's final first up. We are well into the final round of the Players' Championship golf at Sawgrass. Ian Carter is there. Is it still Ludwig Aubert at the top of the leaderboard?
It is. The final pair will tee off in 15 minutes from now. Aubert at 13 under par, 3 shots clear. Bob McIntyre's on the second green. Lengthy eagle chance has just cozied up to the hole. That should be a birdie, and the Scot will move to 8 under within 5 shots of the lead. It's Aubert at 13 under, Michael Thorbjornsen at 10 under, Cam Young at 9 under, and Sudarshan Yelamajarju of Canada, a rookie on tour. He's picked up 3 shots and got into the group at 8 under par, and that includes Matt Fitzpatrick, who's just getting underway on the first tee as we speak. For Rory McIlroy today, a 71. He finished at level par.
And you'll get live commentary from Ian and the team over on 5 Sports Extra. The coverage is just about to begin in the next couple of minutes. Back to the football. Manchester United beat Aston Villa 3-1 at Old Trafford. They're third in the table, 3 points above Villa now. Let's hear from United boss Michael Carrick.
I thought the boys showed really good mentality to the game, really, and stayed positive and confident. And got a win, which was nice off the back of the Newcastle game. I thought it was a bit of a test for us today to see how we would react, and boys were fantastic.
Yeah, I did want to ask about kind of the reaction to particularly the equaliser, because there was a moment where it did look like Villa were on the front foot in that second half. So how pleased were you with sort of your team's ability to cope with that?
Yeah, delighted. I think when you're playing against good teams, you can't expect to be totally in control for the whole 90 minutes, and you've got to manage the waves at times. And we probably caused a little bit of our own issues toward before their goal and lost our shape a little bit a couple of times, but it probably just shows how well we did for the rest of the game, that we defensively as a team and worked well as a team, and then responding to that and finishing the game off was another good step for us.
You're now third, you're 6 points ahead as it sounds of the side in 6th. It looks like you'll be the top 5 who get into the Champions League. You're in a good place for that at the moment, aren't you?
We're in a decent position, without certainly not getting carried away. I think there's still a lot of football to be played. So, but today was a good step for different reasons, that mentally of getting back to winning ways and in a game of such an importance, so that was encouraging.
Michael Carrick there speaking to 5 Live's Chris Sykes, who's also been talking to the Aston Villa manager. 1 win in 7 for them, so is Unai Emery worried?
Yes, but how we are in the league? How we are?
Well, you're 4th, but your run of form isn't particularly brilliant at this stage.
Yes, but the league is 38 matches. You were asking me 2 months ago if we were favourite to win the title. Yes, I told you. No, not in that moment when we were fantastic. Why? Because we are fighting against the team. They are opponents. They are favorite to be in the top 5, even top 7, and of course to be there for the 3rd year is really fantastic. Yes, but of course to keep it is the most difficult challenge we have. Why? Because they have the capacity like they are showing.
Unai Emery. Nottingham Forest moved out of the bottom 3 on goal difference after a goalless draw with Fulham. Here's Forest boss Vitor Pereira with Lee Blakeman.
In the end, it's better 1 point than nothing. In this moment, the points they are very expensive, but the spirit that I saw today in my players, I'm proud of them.
I was going to say, are you happy with what you're seeing and what you're feeling around the club? Because that point could have been all 3, but that 1 point does take you out of the bottom 3, which must be for morale a huge boost, Vitor.
Because it's not what I said to my players is not. This is not about one game. This is about to keep the mentality to fight every games for the points. And I really believe that we can get points from every games. We can go to Tottenham to get points, because we show the spirit. The important is to keep the spirit, to keep the morale, to keep the confidence, and to face the games with the team spirit, the character, the quality we have. We have everything. Just to score goals. We need to score goals.
Leeds United are 3 points above the relegation zone after a 0-0 draw at Crystal Palace. Leeds played the whole of the second half with 10 men. Gabriel Goodmanson was sent off. Dominic Calvert-Lewin missed a penalty. Here's manager Daniel Farke.
We're perhaps not perfect and not flawless, because otherwise we would have been in lead at half-time and would have used our chances better. But this mentality and unity and spirit in the dressing room is second to none, how we adapted to the circumstances today.
What were your thoughts on the decision to send off Goodmanson?
I don't have even to speak about. Everyone in the stadium has seen it was a clear mistake. Was even doubtful if it was a foul. Not close to a yellow card. It was not a tactical foul or whatever. If you could speak about the tactical foul, there was a situation, I think, with Ben Johnson in the second half with more speed in the duel and more a bit of a tactical. But even this situation is for me not a yellow card. I'm not asking for a yellow-red for them, but to give Gabi Goodmanson in this situation a yellow card is for me a completely wrong decision, and I'm not sure why. And then also very disappointed that the referee was not even aware that he had already a yellow card. And then he was surprised that this decision means a yellow-red card. Shouldn't happen on this level, but again. So I think everyone in the stadium has the same view on it.
Daniel Farke there with Match of the Day's Mark Scott. Chelsea won the Women's League Cup. They beat Manchester United 2-0 in the final. Lauren James scored Chelsea's opener.
Amazing to get another trophy, to get on the score sheet as well and to get player of the match. My afternoon probably couldn't have gone better.
Defensively, I mean, you looked so fit out there today, Lauren.
You know, I'm playing a slightly different role this year. In the 9, it's not my usual position, but I'm doing it for the team and helping where I can.
There were a few opportunities before the goal where you were just glancing over, but you could see your threat on the cross, on the ball in front of goal. But then to capitalise on United's mistake defensively, you just looked so composed. How did it feel for you?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, when I won the ball, all I had in sight was the goal, and I thought, I'm just going to go for it.
And that was it? You knew it was going to hit the back of the net?
Yeah, shot and hope for the best.
Lauren James there with Molly Stevens. In the WSL, Manchester City are 9 points clear, but they could only draw 0-0 at Aston Villa. Other scores: Liverpool 2, Leicester 0, London City Lionesses 0, Arsenal 2 and Spurs 1. Everton 2 in the Scottish Premiership. Rangers won 1-0 at St Mirren to move a point behind Celtic and 3 behind the leaders Hearts. Here's Rangers boss Danny Röhl.
This time of the year, especially in this time, it's all about results. We know we always need results, but especially now in the 8th of the season, it's about winning games. And we have now a better position than before this match day. This is nice to have, but I can just repeat: at the end of the season, it's important, and we are in a good way. We are competitive. It's tight on the top of the league. I think for a neutral supporter or fan, it's nice. For us, it's also nice to be in this race. We deserve this.
3 teams, a 3-point gap, 8 games to go.
I said this many times, and I totally believe the last match day this season will be the decision about the master, the champion of the league, not earlier. We have to be ready for this, and I saw today a reaction from the result, and this is what we have to do.
Danny Röhl there speaking to BBC Radio Scotland. The day's other Scottish Premiership match saw Dundee score twice in stoppage time to get a 2-2 draw with Dundee United. You are up to date and we're ready to go at Anfield. Vicky.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, Richarlison has the ball on the centre circle spot for Tottenham and gets us underway for this second half. Liverpool leading by 1-0 courtesy of Szoboszlai's free kick. What can Tottenham do in this second half? So desperate for an upturn in fortunes under Igor Tudor. Only out of the relegation zone on goal difference. But this has been a positive response to what was a humiliation against Atletico Madrid in midweek. And that, coupled with the change that Tudor made, 17 minutes, taking off his goalkeeper Kinski, the fact that he's lost all 4 games so far as Tottenham interim manager, genuinely led to those questions over his future if they were to be humbled here at Anfield. But that has not happened. Liverpool lead by 1-0. Liverpool, who are heading 4th, if they can see this one out, ahead of Aston Villa on goal difference. No changes for either side at half-time. We'll take you through the lineups in a moment, but Pat Matar is being forced back into his own penalty area, just about gets the ball back to Vicario. No slips this time. Clears the ball out of play, and it's a throw to Liverpool just inside the Tottenham half. Clinton Morrison, what are you expecting from the second period, given what we've seen in the first?
Liverpool to be a lot better. I don't think they were at their best, nowhere near in that first half, even though it was comfortable. Tottenham still created enough chances, which will make Liverpool, and the fans they'll be nervous, because I think they've seen this play out a few times with Liverpool, where you're not clinical enough and you get punished.
Here is Gakpo, done really well, good strength there, and then was just swiped down by Danso. So wins a free kick just in midway through the Tottenham half. Gakpo, who did hit the post in the first half, and Liverpool leading by a 1-0 as they take the free kick quickly out to the left-hand side, and Ungamoa approaching the penalty area, the 17-year-old on his first Premier League start. The likes of Salah and Ekitike are on the bench as Ungamoa's done really well. Down to the byline. Oh, is he brought down there? Chris Kavanagh wags the finger, points for a Tottenham goal kick. Well, VAR are going to have a look at that. But the on-field decision is no penalty, Liverpool. No penalty for Rio Ungamoa, who's very quickly up to his feet. And I'll tell you what, the reaction from the Tottenham players as we have a look at this. Just seeing a replay, there was a little bit of a tug by Porro, then he keeps going. Sousa comes across. What do we think, Clinton?
No, it's not a penalty. Yeah, he's trying to win a penalty, and I get that, but don't go Richarlison. You of all people running 20 yards to go and remonstrate with the youngster. You're the world's worst at doing stuff like that, so don't go and pick on the youngster. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He's made a mistake, and get on with it. It's not a penalty, you move on.
And he's now having an argument with Van Dijk, Richarlison. He might be making a point, and that is similar, protecting his young teammate. A little pat on the back from Richarlison, and we play on. So Vicario preparing to launch this for Tottenham, who trail by a 1-0. And Igor Tudor in his response to that Ungamoa going down, and possible penalty appeal for Liverpool, which wasn't given, has been given a yellow card by Chris Kavanagh for his response to that. So Tudor into the book. And Tottenham struggling to clear their lines here. Eventually Danso does. It might have got a nick on the way through as well. Yes, it did. It's a Tottenham throw on halfway. So Liverpool with Alisson in goal. The back four of Szoboszlai, who has scored the only goal of the game so far from a free kick that Vicario really will feel he should have done better with. Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson completing that back four. Ahead of them it's Gravenberch and McAllister, with Frimpong, Wirtz and Ungamoa on his first Premier League start. The 17-year-old supporting Gakpo through the middle. And Sousa takes this throw quickly for Tottenham down the right-hand side, looking for Matthias Tel. Closed down quickly by Andy Robertson, and Van Dijk's out there as well and gets the foot in. And Tel will win the throw deep in Liverpool territory on this near side. 4 minutes gone in this second half, and there is still a tentative feel to this game, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, there is, because Tottenham has started the better again in the second half. Liverpool have been so flat, and they've been disappointing for me so far in this game.
So Danso is preparing to take this throw for Tottenham. They sense the height up from the back again in Dragishin. Richarlison and Solanke, of course, are in there as well, as Danso prepares to launch it long, gets good distance, edge of the 6-yard box. The towering figure of Virgil van Dijk heads it away. It's collected by Spence, and now Porro will spray the pass out, looking for Richarlison. Offside flag is up anyway. Richarlison couldn't control, and it's a free kick to Liverpool inside their own penalty area. So Tottenham gone with the 4-4-2, which was a bit of a surprise, given that Igor Tudor, apart from one game, has played 3 at the back. But they have Vicario in goal, the back four of Spence, Dragishin, Danso and Porro. Then in midfield, it's Tel, Gray, Pat Matasar and Sousa, with Richarlison and Solanke up front. And defending here to do for Tottenham as the ball is fizzed into the area. It comes to Ungamoa, left-hand side, goes for the top corner and kills it just a little bit too high and just a little bit too wide. And Liverpool still lead by the goal to nil.
Yeah, it's good from Frimpong, but Jed Spence, I don't know where he's going. He doesn't need to go in. He needs to stay with the wide man. And once he gets into that area, Frimpong, good ball in. And Ungamoa is trying to find that far corner. He's trying to bend it, but there's not enough bend and it goes wide. But good play from Frimpong down the right-hand side.
Vicario launches it up towards halfway, looking for Solanke, headed away by Joe Gomez, collected by Pat Matasar. Interception made by Ungamoa. A central midfield position there. Does well, the youngster gets a foot in. Wins the ball for Liverpool. Here is Robertson now. In field to Alexis McAllister. Pressured by Richarlison, who's seen 2 headers go very close for Tottenham. One went just wide, one was saved by Alisson, pretty much on the stroke of half-time. As Joe Gomez picks the ball up once more, midway through the Liverpool half. Earlier today, Manchester United 3-1 winners over Aston Villa at Old Trafford. It finished goalless between Nottingham Forest and Fulham. And Crystal Palace and Leeds. Leeds who missed a penalty and played the second half with 10 men. So contrasting emotions in terms of that point as Ungamoa picks it up left-hand side of the penalty area for Liverpool. Again, couple of step-overs, whips the ball in, headed away by Kevin Danso on the edge of the 6-yard box, comes to Richarlison, but he dallies, and it's stolen from him. Frimpong tricks his way into the area, cleared away by Tottenham only as far as Gravenberg, and then McAllister, Szoboszlai now, left-hand side, and spreads it to Florian Wirtz, and Ungamoa will pick it up once more. Liverpool leading by 1-0 here on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. As Ungamoa steers it back to Van Dijk, back out to the left-hand side, and Florian Wirtz, nice layoff to Ungamoa. He's going to go for the curler once again, and Vicario's right behind him.
Yeah, he's a confident young man, isn't he? And you know what? You know when you're a good player, when the Liverpool players keep giving you the ball, keep feeding you the ball, and saying, go and take Porro one-on-one. And he's unlucky there. He doesn't get enough power. It's comfortable from Vicario.
Well intercepted by Szoboszlai, that ball forward from Tottenham, and Frimpong will pick it up, bursting down the right-hand side. Is he taken out by Pat Matasar there? No, says the assistant. It's a Tottenham throw. But yes, just going back to Ungamoa, I thought it was interesting, Arne Slot speaking ahead of this game, saying, look, we do have to treat him carefully in terms of minutes, specifically regarding stress fractures, which players of his age can pick up if you play too many minutes, as Liverpool get the ball into the area, and here he is. Ungamoa once again just forced a little bit wide by that pass from Wirtz, but finds Wirtz once again. Wirtz spins and doesn't quite know where the ball is, but does retain possession. Out to the left-hand side, and Robertson now. Wirtz once again looking for McAllister. Archie Gray does well, gets the interception for Tottenham, and then plays it off McAllister, and that will be a Tottenham goal kick.
It's disappointing from Wirtz. He's got a lot of quality. It's not a hard ball to play Ungamoa in, and he's in on goal there. So the Tottenham lose it again in a dangerous area. But that's what I've said about Liverpool all afternoon. They haven't had that clinical edge, apart from obviously the goal, which I think Vicario can do a lot better.
Well, you'll be able to watch and judge for yourself on Match of the Day tonight. BBC One, 10:30, highlights of all the Premier League action. Celebrations for Chelsea's women. They won the League Cup against Manchester United 2-0 today. As that ricochet might fall to Solanke, cleared away by Alisson. Again, Richarlison was involved earlier in the move, and the ricocheted clearance almost falling to Dominic Solanke, and Tottenham have a throw on this near side as Arne Slot comes out to the edge of his technical area. And Pedro Porro prepares to take this throw, and Tottenham are preparing to make a change. They only have 7 players on the bench, such is their lengthy absentee list. 2 of them are goalkeepers. It's not one of those that's coming on. That would be a story, wouldn't it? It's Xavi Simons.
Yeah, Xavi Simons. It would probably be him or Kolo Muani that would be coming on.
Yeah, they've got a sprinkling of youngsters as well, Tottenham, but Simons, Kolo Muani, the 2 senior outfield players that Igor Tudor can call upon as they look to get back into this game. They still trail by 1-0 as that ball will bounce to Richarlison. Might be a suspicion of offside here. He got the shot away, Richarlison, beaten away by Alisson. Now Liverpool players scream at the assistant on this near side, but the flag stayed down, and it is a Tottenham corner. And again, Richarlison is looking so lively, and he might want a little bit more than a corner here. Porro is telling Richarlison to go away from referee Chris Kavanagh. I think they're asking the question, was Richarlison pulled back in the area here by Van Dijk?
But there was a lot of contact, but he got on with it. You can see there is a bit of an arm on the shoulder from Virgil van Dijk. He's leaning on him. And Richarlison, I think once the referee does that, I don't think VAR are going to get involved. It's a good opportunity from Richarlison. Shows good strength to hold him off. And if he thinks there's contact and he can't get his shot away, he should go down. But I don't think there's enough contact from Virgil van Dijk.
Well, that's it. He's now tugging his shirt, Richarlison, and saying his shirt was being pulled. It wasn't quite that, but as Clinton says, Van Dijk has got an arm on his shoulder and is absolutely leaning his full weight on Richarlison, who shows so much strength to be able to get the shot away. It's a great save again by Alisson, and it is just the corner. So here comes this change. Sousa is off. He's filled in at this right wing position. He is actually a left back, but has done pretty well, I think, at right wing, the 19-year-old, and Xavi Simons is on.
Yeah, definitely. I think Xavi Simons gives you more going forward, but you're right, Sousa's done all right on the right wing. He's done ever so well, done his job ever so well, had a shot in the first half, and he was really unlucky.
So Xavi Simons, who was sent off against Liverpool earlier this season, is on. Tottenham with the corner, headed away well by Gomez, driven back in on the edge of the area by Simons. That would have been scoring with his first touch. Liverpool get it away, Simons with the header again. Alisson will save and he'll spring Liverpool away on the counter. Here goes Szoboszlai over the halfway line. Ungamoa to his left and finds him now. Pore's back defending. Ungamoa though trying to ease past him, pulls the ball across. It's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box and then volleyed clear by Dragoshin, and Liverpool still lead by a goal to nil.
Yeah, he's been the danger man, Rio Ungamoa. He's the one, he's the most